Why hello everybody, Spencer here, also known as LegoDude11, and in today's video, this is my Loki Season 2 spoiler review, spoiler heavy. Get out now. So without further ado, let's discuss. Okay. So as I mentioned, this is a spoiler-heavy review. People tend to just watch these and don't care. But I need to preface this one spoiler-heavy, because it's Marvel and I'm going to be talking. I mean, sometimes I don't give big spoilers, but this is Loki and there's spoilers. So the music this season, I'm a massive fan. I'm a massive fan of Marvel. I'm a massive fan of the first season of Loki, and this is top notch. This is just right up there. This took the cake for me and solidified the reason why I love what Marvel is, and this is my favorite Disney Plus series. This takes the cake over WandaVision, takes the cake over Miss Marvel. I mean, this then WandaVision, then Miss Marvel, and that's how I would rank it. The score in this show by Natalie Holt is spectacular. If I haven't gloated enough, raved in a great positive way about this show and the soundtrack from season 1, you can click the card wherever up here, but you can click the card wherever. But I have the review for season 1, and I just loved the score in season 1, and the score in season 2 is the same. There's new tracks that are just, and then they reuse the Loki green theme, the TVA theme, the He Who Remains theme, spectacular, and then they use this ending theme in the finale as a mix of the Loki green theme that's a somber tone in the finale episode. Oh, it's so damn good, and I loved it. The story in this season is, what I wrote down was, is this too confusing? Did the episodes work? Which I want to get to a little bit later, but the story with the time slipping and the time travel, all of it worked for me. And I noticed some people as I said, is this too confusing? But I feel I like the time slipping. What they did was, in my aspect, they did a little bit of they didn't make it so much. There is some confusingness, but what I think they did really well is the episodes worked. Is they did episode 1, time slipping, introduction to Ouroboros. Ouroboros is a great character, which I want to get to the characters in a little bit. But the characters, and then they did that. They did the time slipping, and then episode 2. I mean, just the time slipping and all the effects worked. There was some spaghetti elements. All the effects worked for me in this show, right? I loved it. Some people don't like the time travel aspect. I'm a science fiction geek. And sci-fi person like Doctor Who, Rick and Morty. This really feels like Marvel's Rick and Morty, Doctor Who-ish elements. I really felt that this season. I love, Quantumania had that trippiness, but it didn't have that great writing. This brought in both sides. Quantumania, what the hell are you thinking? And it had this Doctor Who weirdness in it, and it's not like Rick and Morty, but it's that weirdness, sci-fi, mending. So I loved it. The characters in this show, there's new and old. We have Loki, Tom Hiddleston's great. Sylvie, that I like the character, but people don't, and I can kind of see why. Mobius is back riding his flipping jet skis. I love it. In episode 5, he was riding his jet ski finally. We see Hunter B-15. We see Casey. We see Renslayer and Miss Minutes. Both of them on a path to destruction. I thought their plan was menacing, and the whole plan with Miss Minutes was something else. And then we get Jonathan Majors as Victor Timely. He's back. Great performance. I love the roles that he plays. It's so great. I wish we'll see more of Victor Timely or more of Jonathan Majors as Kang and other variants, but I doubt we're going to see that. So I wonder what they're going to do after this series, but time will tell. And then we do see a new cast member, Ke Huy Quan, as OB. Fantastic casting. I love the dude. I think it's what he has done in the Society of Acting is something epic. Like he started his career with Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, and then Data in the Goonies, and then like years later he comes back after watching not Greatest Chinese, Crazy Rich Asians, and he's like, I need to do acting again, and he's in Everything Everywhere All at Once, Best Picture last year, and now he's in American Born Chinese. He's in Loki season 2. Godsend. Love the dude. I think he's a great performer in this series. I'm glad it wasn't just a cameo in this season, that he actually got to work in the whole series. Loved him. Again, like I said, the villains of this show, Renslayer and Miss Minutes. Oh, by the way, I do have to mention two things. They aren't villains per se, but there's two characters in particular that I thought were hilarious. So Brad. In the second episode, they have this big sponsorship with Brad. Well, it's not about Brad. But in the episode Breaking Brad, there's like the McDonald's part and all that jazz. But Brad, people are hating on him. Like, listen, he's not a bad actor. Like, yes, the character's a dick, I guess. His story was kind of left unresolved. That's okay. But I guess in the long run, what he did was awful, and I wish we kind of would get to see like more like, you're gone, boop. But that's alright. There's this one TVA hunter who in the show in this season B-15 is replaced as a judge, from hunter to judge, and basically this other hunter guy, I forget his name, Brad was X5, so this other guy, Hunter something, responds with the most like gravelly voice, and in episode 1 all I can remember is watching Christian Harloff and him going, Dux and his crew are raiding the armory, and it just goes on. He's like, I'm menacing hunter guy, and it's like he's not even a villain, and he just has this grumbly voice, and he's like, why'd you say it like that? And it was like, and then later in episode 4, which is like the best episode, I mean episode 4, 5, and 6 are gradually great, but all of them are great. But episode 4, he gets pruned, and the guy, Christian Harloff, was watching, yes, finally. And I'm just sitting there laughing at him, like, what the hell? Why does this guy have like the most grumbliest voice, and he's not like a villain, and he's just like, I'm here, and I don't want hot chocolate. That's some good hot chocolate. It's like hot cocoa. It's like, what? Okay. And then he gets pruned. It's like, bye-bye, see you later, alligator. It's like, what? Okay. That was something I found funny, so. But the actual villains, like I mentioned, Miss Minutes and Renslayer, their plan in this series, oh boy, because episode 3 was quite a ride when they go back to like 1863, I believe it was, and go back to Victor Timely. Miss Minutes' plan, like, love interest, like she wanted it, because you think Ravona's in love with Victor Timely, and then Miss Minutes has a secret flirtation towards, that's even a word, towards Victor Timely, and then their whole secret, like the secrets are revealed that Renslayer helped He Who Remains build the TVA, and then Victor Timely erased all their memories. Man, that was something else, guys. It was something else. But yeah, I loved I liked Miss Minutes more. Like, I felt like Renslayer being there, I think her character, like, it didn't feel like she had like I'm an evil villain. It felt like she was trying to do what the TVA wanted, and then Miss Minutes was there to be more of the evil, menacing side, which I was really there for. I loved all of it, and I was like, oh, this is so good, so juicy and rich. And then, so going on from there, from the villains, excuse me, the episodes, like I mentioned, did they work? So you have, excuse me, so you have this time-slipping, time travel stuff, And like I mentioned, episode 1 was that introduction with Opie time slipping. Episode 2 was this Brad episode, getting kind of this mission aspect. And then episode finding Sylvie, doing all this uncovery work. Episode 3 was this, again, Sylvie coming back, finding Victor timely, trying to get the temporal aura, trying to get that down. They find it. In episode 4, they're trying to work it. They have to build. They use Victor timely with the loom, build it, and then destruction happens. Episode 5 is that weird, trippy episode. Loki has to fix himself, fix the time, and everything. And then episode 6 is the resolution. And I feel like, however, this is my favorite series. It's done well, but some people might go, I don't know what was going on. There was so much stuff going on, so many time and things. And episode 4, there is a moment, and even episode 5, even episode 6, when he's going back and back and back, people might go, I have no idea what's going on right now. Where are we? What is going on? And people that either aren't casual fans of the MCU, or let me say that again. The people that aren't diehard fans of the MCU, that haven't binge watched or that haven't watched the entirety of the thing like me, are going to go, what am I watching? Or people that haven't watched Loki at all. For me, I have a friend that wants to start with the MCU with Loki. And I feel bad for him, because I feel wait, where are we? I don't necessarily think that it's time traveling all the way back to Iron Man 1, but if you have watched the MCU, you might realize, oh wait, wow, this means big things. So it's just more in that sense, oh my gosh, this is happening, and I know why. So I don't know, that's kind of how I feel. But the episodes themselves, I felt like they worked in a nice tight bow. Back to my quick sidetrack. So the episode 4 is this series is so hard to rank for me. Same with season 1. I feel like all the episodes from season 1 are hard to rank. Same with season 2. I just put both seasons at a tie, and they're above WandaVision. I no longer have WandaVision tied with Loki, believe it or not. Both seasons of Loki are neck and neck, which I feel like that's fair to say. So the episode 4, there's I think actually my favorite moment in TV history, probably. I don't know. It's just the time travel. I don't know. Rick and Morty and Doctor Who are great. I digress. So episode 4 goes back to a tie to episode 1, which there were theories about, and I'm like, oh, I never thought about that. When Loki gets pruned from try to stop his time slipping, and he's pruned, you see Loki prune himself in the future. And then me and my friend were watching it, and I'm going, yes, that's Loki. This whole is connected. And I'm like, oh, I called it. I was so happy that happened. And then you see Sylvie in the elevator. I'm like, that's the scene. And the music in the scene is so brilliant, and I love it. And it was just, I love that scene in episode 4. And again, Miss Minutes in that scene, everything just worked for me. I was digging it. And episode 4 was great. Episode 5 was great with Mobius and the jet ski, the time slipping and everything. It was so trippy. And then episode 6 and now the finale was a little emotional. I'm not gonna lie. If I watch it again, I'm gonna cry. I didn't really cry the first time, but I was like, man, this is quite emotional. And the music at the end, like I mentioned that. But him trying to go back and get Victor to keep doing it over and over again. I love that classical music. It was so dope. And then Loki getting to his final costume, just doing the ultimate sacrifice with the TVA, just destroying the TVA. Darn you, trains! I don't like trains like ASDF. There's trains out there in my video. Swear to God. Anyway, so yeah, the him getting his classic costume as he destroys it, because Victor he goes and talks to Sylvie. He goes back to time slip to talk to He Who Remains, and he said he has to either kill him or kill Sylvie to stop which is to fix it. And he goes back and does it himself and destroys the loom. Man, and now he's sitting there on the throne, on a throne, with all the branches, and it's very emotional. And that's how the series and Mobius just says, "I'm going to let time pass." This series ends, man. I guess it's the end, and Loki took the place of Kang, so I cannot wait to see more of what Loki's role is going to be in the future of the MCU. And guys, that's my review for Loki Season 2. I loved it. I loved all these things. And like I mentioned, some people might think it's a little confusing, but anyway, that's what I have to say. And my final rating for this season, continuing from last season, would have to just would be a 9 out of 10. I don't even remember what I gave Loki Season 1, but this season would be a 9 out of 10 for me. I mean, maybe a 9, maybe a 10 out of 10. I don't want to be biased and say 10. I'm going to say 9 out of 10. It was just so good. So good, I loved it. I think maybe Loki Season 1 for me was a 9 out of 10, maybe an 8 out of 10. But, yeah, that's what I'm going to give this season. That's what I'm going to give my rating for Loki Season 2. I cannot wait to see The Marvels. I'm seeing it tomorrow, the day after this recording. But I've already seen it prior, day of this upload, so... I know, YouTube time travel. That's crazy, too. But, yeah, The Marvels is going to be insane. It's going to be a wild ride for me and my friends to see. So, don't forget to leave a like on this video if you did enjoy it. I certainly enjoyed the flippin' season. I love this series. I wish there was more of it. Hopefully there is. If there's not, I can just keep going back to Season 1 and 2. Oh, so good. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, follow me at Boba Fett Jedi Master on Instagram, links down below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, follow me. Be sure to click the cards up here for Loki content and other content coming up on the screen right here. Where is it? I don't know. Time slipping. I'm time slipping. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, follow me. Don't forget to keep calm, play Lego, peace, watch stuff. Peace out, everyone. Bye.